join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
honor the Texas flag. I
Pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
It's 9 o'clock. The meeting will please come to order. We do have proof of posting. In accordance with Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code as amended, known as the Texas Open Meeting Act. And at this time, any members of the public who wish to speak shall have 5 minutes.
Mr. Grant, how are you this morning?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'd like to update you this morning on the
All right.
sunset review and that of the noise issue in this county. And this stuff had begun back in 2018 when I testified before the railroad, before the Sunset Review Commission about the Texas Railroad Commission about what they needed to do to control this noise. As a result, the chairman of that committee initiated House Bill 1818 that tells the Railroad
Who was the
Commission.
chairman? Do you remember who the chairman was?
Ma'am?
Who was the chairman? Do you remember?
I sure don't. He didn't run again for office, so he's not there. But he did initiate this House bill. And I gave them about 7 different attachments showing the problems. Map of Freestone County, a proposed noise bill, vibroacoustic disease, the need for a new attitude toward noise, another article, low frequency noise, noise limits, testing parameters, and health effects. I got a lot of that there. And more than I didn't sell all of them. Anyway, you get the gist of it. They got a lot of data. And telling them about what it's doing to our people and how many people have died in this county because of the noise. And I wrote a letter to Brian Evans, our district attorney, on August of 2019, and telling me we really need to get this oil and gas monitoring and enforcement resources of the commission strategically to ensure public safety and protect the environment. That was page 2 of that law, that you've got to protect us. But the Railroad Commission, when they had this, their annual plan, did not include anything concerning the noise issue to protect their citizens like they were supposed to do. So they didn't do that. Now, Brian, after we met here and I showed you that burn spot on my leg, apparently you convinced him that he needed to send something to the State Attorney General, and he did that. Finally. Let's see, what was it? I got it. I'll read it to you. Yeah. That's my letter to him. Anyway, I sent him a letter on August 6th of 2019, and in his letter is just recently, here it is, November 18, 2020. So it's been a long time in this process of getting something done, starting with the attorney of the Sunset Review Commission Now, his letter, I'll read this right quick, it's not very long. November the 18th. Office of the Attorney General, Attention Opinion Committee. The Opinion Committee. In May of 2017, Governor Greg Abbott signed House Bill 1818, which directs the Texas Railroad Commission to develop a plan to use resources of the commission to ensure public safety and protect the environment. The annual plan of the Railroad Commission does not address the noise generated by the oil and gas equipment and facilities, including compressor stations. The current plan only includes wells. The compressor stations, gas trading facilities, and pipelines are generating low-frequency noise that our citizens believe are severely harmful. Therefore, the question submitted is whether the control of the noise generated from oil and gas equipment and systems is included in the plan to ensure public safety. I appreciate you taking the time to review the request. Let me know if you need anything else. Well, there's no data here that supports what we think is bad for the citizens of our county. So then what I did, and you have a copy, I wrote a letter to the Sunset Review Commission chairman, and I said I'm writing this letter in support of Brian Evans' document where he's requesting us to do something. I did get a phone call yesterday from the what do you call it, the State Attorney General. I got a call from him, and I said, I want you to realize this is not my request, but I'm supporting Brian Evans' request. And he said, okay, I got you. So I sent him about 7 different attachments talking about the noise issue and why it's a problem, and that we've had about 4 people killed in this county because of the noise. And I've been to their houses when they were in the hospital or maybe after they died, and took my noise measurements with my $3,000 noise meter, and it was bad, like 100 decibels on one guy, 85 decibels on another one, and he was in the hospital and he had brain damage and a heart attack. I mean, this is a terrible thing, atrocities against our citizens. So anyway, I'm just letting you know, the latest is they have our data, and they have some backup data for his letter saying this is what the problem is. And a lot of information from around the world is there also. So it's not just me. So thank you for letting me speak. I just want to bring it up today.
I would assume, but I do not know, but I would assume that when they look back at what the legislature passed, that they see all that information.
Yeah, that I'm giving them also, but I just want to make sure that they got that, because it didn't say, there's no real backup data to what you were saying to them. So I felt like I needed to put some additional data in their pocket.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? If not, we'll move to item number 1, which is to approve the minutes of the April 8th and April 12th meetings.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of April 8th and April 12th meeting.
Is there a second? All in favor, aye. Motion carried. Item number 2 is budget transfers and amendments. You have 3 sheets. Two of them are budget line, budget line item transfers. And one sheet is, and one is a budget amendment in that special account for unanticipated revenue and for the donation from Community National Bank, and also we have a certification for the funds received from Community National Bank. Any discussion?
Make a motion to accept budget transfers and And certification on anticipated revenue.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? None. Motion carried. Item number 3 is to approve and pay the bills. We have 2 sets. Now, you have 2 sets of bills?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm looking for that one. What was that on that, Texas AgriLife extension, on the extension agent?
Should be under 600.
Was
Oh,
it
no,
money-
no, no,
money
no,
going
no,
out?
we
It might
don't.
be 86, Fund 86?
No, I think it's non-departmental,
I mean,
670.
that marketable. I was just curious what it was for.
Oh, I gotta know, it was at 4,000 and something?
Mhm.
We supplement the extension agent's salary. Part of it's paid by the state, and we pay part of it, and that's what that 4,000 is. And they bill us quarterly for that.
That's correct.
Yeah. I was just curious what it was.
Sure.
Can I tell them what we've learned since we've been here about those?
Yes,
So the agents, we were paying more than that for years. Because the state would pay them a little bit and let the county try to do more, but we found out we didn't have to. That's what changed our.
we thought that the state paid a certain amount, and whatever we paid was in addition to that. And I think, if the truth be known, they led us to believe that.
That's right.
But they have a salary that the extension person makes, and it's divided up depending on how much we pay. The more we pay, the less the state pays. But it did not increase their salaries any. We thought we were helping our extension agent out by paying more, but we're just helping the state out. Amazing. It's amazing how that works. And we asked them about that several times, and they would just skirt around the issue and not really give us a straight answer.
That just changed over 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah. Any discussion on the bills?
Make a motion to pay the bill.
Second.
All in favor, aye. Motion carried. Item number 4 is to approve payroll. Any discussion on that? I don't know.
On the GPS officer, who signs that 24 hours of admin time? Who signs the return to me?
The sergeant does, don't
Mhm.
he?
And just so y'all know, that was on that trooper's funeral, so, but, because it wasn't a family member.
Because it was not a family member, and they, if
But
it's
they
a
did.
family member, you get the 3
If
days.
it's an immediate family member, you get the 3 days. If it's any other relative outside the immediate family, you get 8 hours. If it's outside of that, you have to use your time or get
But
it.
since this was not a family member, they gave.
And they close their office for those 3 days, so.
Any other discussion on payroll?
Make that motion.
Andy articulated. I'll second it. I thought it was me.
All right, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 5 is reports. I have, just in the right order. I have the auditor's report, monthly report for March, and then the treasurer's report, which is based on the auditor's report for that same period. Again, this is, all this is available for review. The treasurer's report is on the website for anyone that would like to review it and keep up with what's going on here. I have a report from the treasurer's office for unfunded liability quarter report, sick time, vacation time, comp time, holiday time, bonus time, the accrued amounts for those. I think maybe each of y'all have a copy of that.
Yes.
Okay. Senior Services Report for March, 2,737 meals were served. That's 1,124 congregate and 1,613 home participants. And then upcoming events. Going to be a presentation on Medicaid. Also, there is bingo. If y'all would like to participate in any of those. We did get a report from the County Historical Museum, which is really interesting. There's a lot of stuff showing about the history of the old jail and what they're doing to maintain our historical buildings and effects.
They sure got it looking good up there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think they have a lot of visitors too.
Yeah.
That's good. Anybody else have a report? If not, do we have a motion to accept the reports?
Third.
All in favor, aye? Motion carried. Thank you. Item number 6, burn ban.
Leave it off,
Leave it off.
no action.
There's no discussion further on that, then we'll go to item number 7. Do we have any road use agreements? Anyone? If none, we'll go to item number 8 to approve bonds and education certificates. We have tax collector assessor, 2 hours of educational training, and cybersecurity awareness training for Lee and Chap. We all need to get ours done. Do we have a motion to accept these?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor, aye. Motion carried. Item number 9 is to discuss pursuant to local government code 262.0244, granting a discretionary exemption for professional services with Sterling and Cap Architects. We have used them on numerous other projects. And we had previously approved doing a master plan for the courthouse, and we have to have that plan prepared. We should have had it done a good while ago, but with COVID, we had difficulty with getting people to come. But we have used Sterling on numerous projects before, and so I'm requesting that we do this discretionary exemption so that we don't have to go out for RFPs and go through all of that process also. We can move along a little faster, and with the timeline for the next grant funding, we can get this in, and then there's one other step, and then we'll be ready to be in with the next round of money that they give out for
So this
grants.
amount right here, we'll get that money back?
No, no, not that money.
You gotta pay this, so
We
that
have
you
to pay
can
that to
get
get
the
the
plan.
plan, and then we can go forward to the next step, yeah.
It's number 2 in this little thing down here. I'm just reading it. It says you understand that payments will be billed in different phases and will be due upon delivery of invoice. 3% interest fee added to all invoices that are 30 days past due. Can we meet those timelines?
On the ones that we've done with him before, a few times we were past the time, but he didn't bill us anything. I think that's just, we
Right.
try to be
We've never
prompt
had
on
an issue
everybody's.
with that.
No.
Okay. I mean, it's just in this little contract.
Right.
Yes, yes, But he has worked with this historical commission on all of the things that he's done before. And, we've had good success with him being able to negotiate with them and don't get me wrong, it costs more when you have to do that and go through the historical commission. We know that because we have these things that we have to, their requirements. Like testing the paint, be sure that it's the, everything is just what they,
We're trying to do this for them to do what, for us to do what to the courthouse?
well, we can either, when we get ready, after we get this done, we can look and see what else needs to be done. If we can get a grant, we may do more things than just doing the outside, but the outside is what we're mainly focusing on. Anything outside that needs to be done. I'm thinking that probably our doors are gonna need to be done because they're older and the sun and everything is really taking a toll on them, as well as the windows, the grout, a lot of the grouts. Terrible. Those little, whatever they call those decorative things around, we've had a few of them fall. Thank goodness they hit anyway. But anyway, and we may even look at the inside, whatever they say, and put it all within the grant, just get it all done at one time.
To spend this one, we're gonna get grants, that's for sure.
Nothing is for sure, but without doing this, we can't even apply for a grant. But we do have an older courthouse, and so I think they look at that when they are looking at projects to fund.
I like that motion.
Second.
All in favor, aye. Any opposed? None. Motion carried. Item number 10 is to accept the racial profiling report for Freestone County Precinct 4. And Precinct 4 says that they have a full exemption because they do not make traffic stops in the routine performance of the officials' duties. And that's what they're looking at, is the racial profiling. Do we have a motion to accept this report?
I'll make it.
Second.
All in favor, aye. Motion carried. Item number 11 is to consider Wi-Fi at the Butler Community Center. It's my understanding that when the community center is completed, that they're wanting to move everything back to Butler. When I say everything, that's the voting, every voting time we have to do it either at Butler, and now we're doing it at the church because of the damage to the Butler Center. But I think, from what I've heard, everything is looking good out there, and they will be wanting to move it back to that. We do our senior services lunches, and then we also, as a part of the agreement, when we do move back and get another rental agreement, we'll put into that for any other purpose that the county needs it for, which would be if we needed a warming station in that area, or whatever we needed it.
Anything we needed.
The
The money will not.
We certainly could use it for that, but we'll pay a rent to them just like we're paying to the church right now. But we'll pay a rent to them, and we did provide Wi-Fi for use with the elections so that the poll books and everything would work. But that also, since they have it there, they'll do summer programs for the kids in that area that they can come to the center and use it also.
And the seniors.
And the seniors.
The work programs,
Yes.
just like that Medicare deal lady that's
Mm-hmm.
going to visit with them. I
Yeah.
don't say when, but.
But we've done we've had the Wi-Fi there before, we just turned it off while they were not using that
I'll
building.
make a motion that we approve to
Is it gonna, okay, go ahead.
to get Wi-Fi and up and running at the Butler Community Center.
So,
All in favor, aye.
uh,
Motion carried.
and no one ever other than precinct 4 that needs Wi-Fi, where they couldn't have phone? Or not on that?
At Cottondale?
I don't remember that, it says couldn't call that, they walk down the road, and get out.
I think they have communications now, don't we? Isn't it better? Is it better? I mean, y'all know more than I do about it. I mean,
You're talking about with the election?
yes, ma'am, at Cotton Gin?
I don't think they have Wi-Fi, so whenever we get back, we connect the whole book to the site and it links.
Nobody's ever asked me, but do we need to make it? I mean, do we need it out there? Do we need to?
I mean,
Look
if
at
you have
that.
Wi-Fi, it's better.
I'm not sure if there's any out. I mean, I don't even know.
I don't even.
'Cause that's a bad
Maybe-
spot there.
Maybe they can talk about that.
Okay.
Would you check about that?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
good. Consider approval for the sale of a 2010 F-350 single rear wheel 4x4 diesel truck. Through closed bids, precinct 3. Is that precinct 3?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Does it run?
It will crank and run. Front end is wore out, tires are no good, seats no good, but it's that year model truck to keep it running right. If something goes wrong with it again, you're gonna spend $3,000 to fix it. If you wanted to fix that problem for good, you'd have to delete it, which is gonna cost, the delete and the front end is gonna cost about $4,000 total. And the truck is worth about $6,000 on the books.
I just thought maybe I fit my program since it
It
was.
looks
Sounds like it would fit in your
It would fit
program.
in your program real good, yeah. It would match the stuff that you don't need, that you've already got.
Oh, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion that
Second it.
put it out for sealed bid, closed bids.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 13, there'll be no action on that. Do we have any comments from Commissioners Court members?
I have a Streetman Volunteer Fire Department has a fish fry this Saturday night at their fire department, and Wortham Volunteer Fire Department has their annual barbecue May 1st at the fire station in Wortham. So two volunteer fire departments in my area or precinct are having fundraisers. So.
Is Streetman May 1st?
No, Streetman's this coming weekend,
What will that be? April something, yeah.
whatever this Saturday is.
April something, okay.
I've got a question.
So,
On our, trips, is that right, in school,
mhm.
skip school?
Well, the JP's handle that, and I think precinct 3, JP handles all of them.
JP or Constable?
JP, it's a court.
Why isn't that distributed in their precincts?
I don't know, they've always had one that did it. I guess if precinct 2, JP wanted to, she could handle those in her. But I mean, all 4 of them, someone does. Precinct 3 does. Are there very many of them, or do you know there's a lot of them?
Yes, from my head, because they had, TIG has the Line Academy or whatever,
Mhm.
and people come into TIG, so they don't come to school, they're from my head, so it's a lot.
Thank you.
And also on our JPs, they haven't divided this interstate, I believe, but on the ticket wise, getting tickets. That's somewhat close to what we're talking about here.
Somewhat, yeah. Mhm.
You know,
I think all the JPs were in agreement for her to do that, though.
So for
So,
that, her to do that, and I'm talking about the tickets.
yes,
or not.
yes, and that was mentioned to me, and we need to look back and see where that, we need to look at that. But I did get some information that was in 2000 is when that was,
Well, yeah, what's
Approved.
going south needs to go to 1, 2, and 4, and what's
Yeah.
going north is the other one.
I wanted to find the minutes on that so we can see. Would you help me find that?
I want to
I
went
think
back
it was in
to Dick
2000.
Marsh's time. That was going, I mean, that's what it was.
Yeah, and I think that was in his time, 2000. But she told me one.
Yeah, that's right.
Mhm.
I'd ask
We'll look at that.
I'd ask for, Brian's not gonna be here today, I guess, kind of give us a report on the status of our trial, her trial.
I did mention that to him, but I should have called him, I forgot.
Brian is in a Zoom meeting this morning, that's why Brian is in a Zoom meeting this morning, that's why he couldn't be, but, I know that they're having something next week with that.
Karen, have you heard anything new?
I have it, but
We'll try to have him here to talk to us
Is
about it.
COVID still the old excuse why we hadn't had it?
No, things are opening up now. Yeah, we're having court. They're suggesting that we still social distance and wear masks on days we have court. But, they're having court now, so hopefully it'll be, but there again, he's gotta get on the schedule for, if they're still having it in College
Right.
Station. I know College Station is way behind on theirs because everybody's been shut down. I haven't heard any timelines yet, but I know they're working on it. Mhm. All right, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
I'll say.
Thank you. All in favor, aye? Adjourn.